if your website looks like this, if your revenue looks like this, if your app looks like this, if your data looks like this, and if your user engagement looks like this. I have a question for you. What are you guys waiting for? Welcome to Lead with Tech. Today we're talking about honesty. Believe it or not, it's really, really important for all C-suite executives to be honest, especially CEOs, CTOs, CIOs, CFOs, and CMOs. If you guys are not honest about where you are on your journey as a company, then you're constantly lying to each other. It's just basically a circle of lies, right? If your company checks all the boxes that I've posted in the beginning of the video, and you're still talking in your strategic meetings about your bright future, then you're not being honest. And honesty in 2025 will determine if your company will survive in 2027, 2028. I'm not exaggerating. This is exactly what's going to happen. Your users, your buyers, your end consumers are not going to tolerate low tech approach anymore. You have to understand that your users are people living out in the world. They're not in the zoo, they're not in cages, they're not in isolated rooms with no access to the outside world. Your users are people who are daily using technology, which is far more superior than what you guys have or what you're offering or not offering even. This behavior creates anticipation. It's as clear as that, right? And that anticipation then converts into a desire to use a service or product, and then that desire converts into a sale for you. But before that, like in the past 10 years, even though the technology has been growing pretty rapidly, you could get away with a mediocre website. You could get away with not having an app. You could get away with not being data-driven, but not anymore. Everything is changing as we speak. Just look at OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, all the latest AI advancements that are happening in the world of technology. What do you think those advancements will do to your industry? Yes, on one hand, you're promised that those advancements will help your businesses, help your companies, and help your employees. And on one hand, that's true. But on the other hand, they will make certain things so obsolete and so unusable and so undesirable to your users that you will not be able to operate anymore, and it will just be like a shock. Your users will discover your product and be like, what? Is this true? Are we still in 1995? I don't want to do this. And this thing applies to a lot of things, like, for example, checkouts that take forever, or pages and pages of not pre-populated fields that require people to stick around for 10 minutes just filling out the information. Stuff that could be automated already even without AI. But with AI, you have to understand that people will get better at natural language communication with AI systems and AI assistants, AI agents in different companies. So they would now require your company to meet the standard. But in order for your company to meet the standard, it has to first get to the basic level of being technologically ready. And if you're not technologically ready, then putting an AI chatbot or something on top of your pile of old code and whatever old technology you have would just be a disastrous move. Just imagine you have a rustic 1967 Mustang, and then you decide that, well, now we're going to try to put AI self-driving system into it. I mean, theoretically, it's possible, but it's crazy to do it that way. This is exactly what you're trying to do when you're trying to put that piece of latest tech into your absolutely obsolete and slow, sluggish, not working, non-efficient technology or IT infrastructure. You have to invest in the right technologies. You have to invest in your IT, not just to maintain what you already have and be happy that it's not crashing. Because I know a lot of companies, like we just had a company a couple of days ago we talked to, and they were so happy that they just spent $250,000 on this event for a couple hours with just 100 people. And they were so happy that IT managed not to crush the event by not delivering the basic functionality. They were so happy that the site didn't crash, that some of the task runs that people ran during the event ran fine. But in order for them to do that, they actually had to have someone from the IT, like a team, to manually double check every transaction, every move. That's how unsure they were that things would go well. You don't want that. To bring your company to the basic level of technological readiness, you have to have a modern, slick, very good UI UX website. You have to have an app. Absolutely, you have to be mobile first. Because again, I keep talking about this over and over again, device-driven economy. You have to meet your clients where they are. And where are they? They're not on their desktops. They're on their phones. So if you're not on the phone, then where are you? You're nowhere. You're in the past. Talk to Gen Zs. Like we do it all the time at Techery. We talk to different generations of users. I even ask my nieces to evaluate some of the sites of our enterprise clients. They have no idea what they're looking at. Like, what is this utility company? What is this entertainment company? It doesn't matter. I'm just curious what they think about the interface and if they even understand what they're doing. They have to do it on my computer because they don't have laptops. And that generation is growing right now into adulthood, and they're entering the workforce, and they're obviously entering the pool of potential customers for your business. And those are people who are not even using laptops. They don't even understand the term desktop. What is it, like the top of the desk? No. They are using phones for everything. And if you're not phone first, if you're not device driven, then where are you? You don't exist to those people, right? That's why your revenue is slowly getting flatter and flatter and probably decreasing. But if it's increasing even right now and you're still not thinking about this, it will decrease. It's just going to happen next year or in 2 years. Doesn't matter. But if you're thinking ahead, if you're thinking strategically, then that's exactly what you need to be paying attention to. The next thing is being data driven. If you are flying blind, and even if you're making billions of dollars, as one of our clients does, just recently we met this company that's doing $2 billion, and their data is an absolute black box. Having a black box like that basically means that you cannot predict anything, and you don't understand why these things happen to you. For example, this company doesn't understand how many product items they're going to sell the next month and why they sold so many the previous month. All they have is like vague surveys and stuff like that, but they don't really understand anything. And their data is all just a spaghetti of code. If your company is the same way, this is the first issue you have to tackle. You have to have a slick, modern UI UX on your website. You have to be mobile first and be device driven, and you have to be data driven. Those three are the foundations of you being ready to innovate. And we're not even talking about innovation right now. We're talking about the basics. Because in order for you to understand how to grow, you need to understand what is happening right now, what was happening in the past 10 years, and why it was happening. And now we're bringing in AI. Obviously, AI can help you do a lot of those things and can help you understand a lot of those things. But you can't throw AI into a messed up IT infrastructure. It's just not going to work. It's going to make things a lot worse. So that's why I'm calling you out again. Be honest. Don't talk about huge plans, beautiful fourth quarter, amazing opportunities until you figure that stuff out. Be honest in your strategic meetings and talk to each other and say, hey guys, we actually suck. We might have a good fourth quarter, but what are we going to do next year? Do you even understand what's happening around us? Do you see how the landscape is changing? And are we ready? And if the answer is no, then you are being honest and you are ready to make the right steps in the right direction. But don't forget, when you do that, when you have that next meeting and you're ready to be honest, lead with tech.